Every 4 years, the citizens of the United States fill voting booths with a choice of who they want running the country. Once the votes have been counted and the new president announced, there comes a flood of reactions, both positive and negative. Following the 2016 election, the negative response hit a record high, which called into question the validity of this established system. Time reported on this, showing that according to the independent nonpartisan Cook Political Report, Clinton's final tally came in at 65,853,516, compared to Donald Trump's 62,984,825, with a difference of 2,868,691. So if the majority of the country voted one way, why would the election go another? America uses an electoral college system, so instead of gathering the votes of every citizen equally, the vote is based on the electoral college of each individual state. Many have argued this system is outdated, unfair, or unnecessarily complicated. While there are some valid critiques, the Electoral College continues to uphold the ideals of giving an equal voice to all citizens, no matter race, location, or occupation. As someone who's voted in both a solid red state and a swing state, I can see how both work in unique ways. I intend to explore this topic by answering questions like, what about democracy? Why are swing states even a thing? And isn't the popular vote just simpler all around? Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines democracy as a government by the people, especially rule of the majority. The popular vote, as its name suggests, decides an election solely on who the majority of citizens vote for. The House of Representatives website defines the Electoral College as the formal body which elects the President and Vice President of the United States. Each state is allocated a certain amount of electoral votes, which may give a vote in one state a higher value than one in another. This would make the popular vote definitionally fit the democratic system better, but here's the issue. America was never meant to be a pure democracy. John Witherspoon wrote, "Pure democracy cannot subsist long nor be carried far into the departments of state. It is very subject to caprice and the madness of popular rage." Many founders shared this view, and this was one of the main reasons the Electoral College was implemented in the first place. In short, by placing the power merely in the hands of the majority, we rob any minority of their voice in national matters. But we also have to take into account that some states seem to have all the power in elections. The Electoral College has created issues such as swing states that have made a whole election come down to one or two states. The biggest swing state being Florida, with 29 electoral votes, and according to CNN, about 4.4 million registered Republicans and nearly 4.6 million Democrats. But the voters both campaigns want are nearly 3 million independents. This system allows for politicians to focus on these specific swing states, while largely ignoring the other states that specifically lean to one party or the other. The issue with swing states is more a matter of emphasis, though, than a problem. Swing states exist and very much define the emphasis of a politician's campaign, but there are two major reasons why this isn't a bad thing. First off, if they didn't exist, they would be replaced by large cities, which house a majority of the population, but a minority of land. And second, swing states can change. Jonathan Bernstein observed, "Some states will perpetually be competitive, but over time some experience significant changes. West Virginia, for instance, went from being one of the strongest Democratic states in 1980 to being one of the strongest Republican states now." While this makes sense, isn't it needlessly complicated, though? Instead of messing around with how many points a state has, the simpler form would obviously be adding up everyone's votes and using whatever majority is reached. While the popular vote is much simpler, the cons of a pure democracy far outweigh the pros. Political historian Tara Ross stated, "As a matter of history, pure democracies implode because of the dangers of majority tyranny. As it has been said, democracy is two wolves and a lamb voting on what to eat for lunch." Giving into a majority-based structure makes for a type of ruling class that may not vote in such a way that would be beneficial to the minority states. Giving an equal voice in the minority as well as the majority is a timeless value that has been excellently expressed through the Electoral College. It's easy to dismiss flyover states in favor of densely populated areas, but when it comes to creating laws that affect both, one shouldn't have more voice than the other. Tara Ross put it this way: "America is a large and diverse country. It deserves a unique election process, ensuring that all voices are heard in the election of its president. The Democratic Federalist Electoral College has served the country well in this regard. It should be kept." In order to form a more perfect union, the people of the United States must look to the common goal of first becoming we the people. All right.